Okay, guys, so welcome to something new, a Sunday afternoon catch up. I know it was impromptu, and for those of you that are watching the recording because you can't get on, I've got people with grandchildren and people out and about and in forests and all sorts of things. But it was impromptu because Belle and Rachel and myself got together and we went, oh my goodness, there is so much happening at the moment. We really want to make sure that we're all ready. It's like you sort of feel like you need to get everybody in the starting gates. So, imagine we're just about to get in a big race and we're in those starting gates, and you've got to get ready, you've got to get prepared. I just had my friends here from New Zealand who were there when I did my Tarawera race, and they were talking about my preparation, and we were talking about next year already, and just talking about the importance of being prepared and being ready, and how much better it is if you know what you're heading into, because you can be so much more prepared and you have another 50% better chance of success if you know what's happening and you've got a bit of a feel for it, because you can prepare yourselves. And I think that is really the reason why we thought we would just pull everybody together, whoever can and whoever's watching the recording. And then we had the bonus of the amazing Irene Miller, who said that she would hop on too and spend some time with us. So that's why we're here this afternoon. And it's great to see some faces who we haven't seen for a while, faces who are, always around and on here, and faces that I can't see, but I know you're on here, but I can't see your faces. So let's get started. So I always think about isogenics, and my journey with isogenics is 15 years down the track now, and I think about the opportunities that are there for people, and I just feel that every year brings new opportunities, and this year is no different. We've had a 3 month real striving for an amazing competition, a Phuket competition. And the interesting thing that we've watched with that is that people striving for that have also started to accelerate their businesses. And that's what happens if you take the time to get ready in the starting gates and really kick things off well. So, yeah, I am excited about this year, and I feel that we as a team are really well prepared. We have the strategies in place to really make things work. And we have a brains trust around us who can all support us, both corporately and the leaders that I'm working with. So it's very exciting times. So we talked about this time that we're going to have together, and it's quite funny actually. You know how Zoom does these things. I have Rachel in my left hand here and Belinda in the right, and Nonna right in the middle. And so it's like I need to take a screenshot of this, which I will do in a minute when I hand over to one of them. But what we were talking about a couple of days ago is that Rachel is incredibly passionate about two things, and that is about belief in our products and knowing that we are the absolute best out there, and belief that there is nothing better than building a network marketing business. So that's belief. And then in the other top right hand corner, we have Belle, who is very strategic. So some of you have already experienced, put your hand up if you've already experienced Belle's strategy sessions. If she, yeah, so she will strategically sit down and work out, okay, how can you make this happen? So let's start with belief, because to me, the core thing is where our mindset is and where our belief is. So yeah, Rach, tell us a little bit about your feeling as far as moving forward now into the next exciting phase that's going to be launched on Thursday, and where your belief needle needs to be in both areas.
Okay, thanks, Heather, for all of that information. And look, I think that network marketing is an incredible business, But the thing with network marketing is you have to have the best product on the market. And I was chatting to someone about this morning that network marketing, you can't have a substandard product. It has to be the best of the best. Otherwise, you can't compete with the big advertisers out there, the big businesses spending millions of dollars on putting billboards up and information in your face every second of every day. It has to be the best of the best. What that means is the people that you attract and take part in our program need to have the best possible result. Now, thankfully, and I know a few of you have been with other companies in direct selling, and I have as well. I know from doing the research and from being in Denver and listening to Dr. Paul and Mia Chorney and a bunch of other people talk about this product that it is the best of the best, not just only in its category, but in every category. And that is information that we don't share enough. And I think once you grasp that, it really frustrates me when I hear people saying, I'm just going to go to Woolies and get some protein powder. And I'm just like, oh my God, are you insane? Do you know what's in that stuff? There's like heavy metals, dioxins, pesticides, you name it is in there, and you're probably getting a tiny proportion of protein, and it's not even going to where it's supposed to go because it's shit quality. But you can't say that, right? Or you can, but people will just walk away from you and think you're a loony. But what you've got to get in your head is that is my belief. That is, I know this for a fact. Because when you're that passionate about a product, you don't have to sell it. And when you have your ups and downs, when you have your moments where you get 100 no's and no one's saying yes, that's okay because I know that this is the best of the best and there is nothing else out there. Now, if you don't have that belief yourself, get it. Get the belief. Do what you have to do. Go find the research. There's lots of information out there. Talk to somebody. Look at scientists' comments and the scientific studies and everything that we have got out there to prove that this is the best of the best. And look, from studying nutrition, I know that the Australian supplement industry is not regulated. Now let that sink in. So if you've got a product that you buy over a shelf, over a counter in a store like Chemist Warehouse or even the health shops, that supplement, including the protein powder, is not regulated. So that means that that company can put whatever the heck it likes on the label, and they're not going to go and check that it's 100% pure, that it's going to do what it says it does. As long as it's got a percentage of that product in the container, that's okay with them. Not with isogenics. We do not do that. What we put into those products is the best of the best. And honestly, once you kind of understand that, once you understand that people are being brainwashed by inferior products, then you know that it's our duty to educate them otherwise. Because there's so many people out there buying stuff that they think is working for them. And, I think about placebo effects and all that kind of stuff. They think it's working, but it's actually not. And we are doing them a disservice if we don't get out there and tell them about this product and how good it is and how it works. That's just the product. And then you've got the compensation plan as well on top of that. But the main thing is, if you don't have that belief, you can't get through the ups and downs. If you're kind of like, well, I'm just going to tell her to buy something from Chemist Warehouse or, it's okay. I can just use a different type. No, you can't. You can't use a different type of collagen because this is the best. And that really has to be top of mind every time, not just for you, but for everyone that you're talking to.
Well, if your belief needle hadn't gone like that after that, then you weren't listening. And we talked before, we've talked a number of times over the years about your belief needle and where it is. And I think what Rachel said is so right. If it's not there, if it's not absolutely, at that 10 end of the scale, then do your research, do your reading, talk to people, and just work on that belief, both in the business, in the product, and in you doing this business. So, strategy. We've got an exciting time coming up. No, we're not necessarily going to tell you everything, but we're going to give you some bloody big hints. So, Belle, what are your strategies for the next 3 months?
Well, as I spoke to you during the week, working towards Thailand, corporate gave us a strategy to build our business. People's cycles have grown, their income has grown, their customer database has grown. Okay. The next strategy that they're going to announce on Thursday is going to grow your business in the depth in the next level. So it's going to be not enrollments for you, it's more who are you developing within your business. And it's if every time corporate announce something, you play the game and play the strategy, you will earn money, your business will grow, and it's a strategy, it's a business strategy. So I cannot stress enough, okay? And so an example of this, I have weekly calls with the girls with the team. I'm available for anyone else that wants to have that call. We can dig deep within your business and really see where there are possibilities to grow your business. And an example is Darylene had an event on Friday night. And you have to set an outcome for the event. And it was to set this new customer associate up so she could rank advance to manager this month. They held the event yesterday. They had six ladies, was it, Darylene, attend? Yep. 3 30-day packs were signed last night. And she went consultant. And more are coming through today. So this is the strategy. You know, what events are you hosting? Who's your accountability? Who are you working with within your business? Darylene, we already knew this lady loved collagen. And now she's gone and sold reset packs. So Darylene has a whole new market there. The strategy is, okay, we've got 3 ladies. Surely out of 3 ladies, one of those is going to share and go consultant. She's going to be halfway to manager. And more, four enrollments, sorry. There's another one that's come through. Then she's got these 4 ladies that she can dig into their network, host events, support them with the reset, get results. This is the strategies that we need to have within your business. It is a business. And I was saying to Heather this week, it's like people owning a store, a shop. You can either just be open, closed. You want to earn $50,000 for the week. What strategy are you going to do to bring that money in? Our business with Isagenix is exactly the same. If you do not have a strategy, nothing will get done. If you just post and pray and don't have conversations, don't have events, what do you think is going to happen to your business? Nothing's coming in the door. The same as having a shop. How are you going to attract these people into your store? How are you going to attract people into your business? How are you going to support the customers that are coming in? It is very, very crucial. And as soon as you flip that mindset and have that belief that this is a business, you need to have a business strategy with action and conversations to maximize what's coming. The money on the table that's coming it's excitement. We're already lining up people that are going to collect like $900 in the first week. Get on this call on Thursday night. I've got to stop because I'll keep talking and I'll tell them everything that's coming.
Okay, so you need the belief, you need the strategy, you need the team of people around you to support you. And, we're here on a Sunday afternoon. I've just swallowed something the wrong way. So we're here on a Sunday afternoon. And the beauty of this is if you concentrate on strategy, then you can have the time out. You can do fun things. You can get out and go for a run in the bush. You can do all those things if you take the time to be strategic with the time you are working. So, yeah, someone who does that incredibly well, and who has absolutely worked this strategy for, oh my goodness, Irene, how many years?
19 years,
19.
nearly
There you
20.
are. Thank you, Belle.
And I got to see the master. I was thinking about this today on my run. I was promoting Joanna, who was the master making the bread and in the kitchen. And I was like, I got to see the master in the kitchen, Irene, yesterday. It was beautiful to see her working the room, spending time with people, developing the relationships, and we had a very successful event. And for someone to do that after being in the business so long and giving up their time on a Saturday afternoon and traveling all that time, that's what this business is all about. And we are so lucky, especially ladies in WA, we need to take advantage of being so local to everybody and feed on that energy, feed on that belief. The belief when Irene stood up in that kitchen yesterday, all these ladies were leaning in.
Mm-hmm.
So, Heather, keep going because
no, that's it. That's perfect. That's perfect. To have someone who can show you that if you work hard, then you can play hard, and your work becomes your play as well. Because God, I love every moment of all my connection and my time with you guys. It is, it's what I, wake up for. So, over to you, beautiful Irene. For those of you who saw in our chat, we put some questions in there that I know Irene's going to, don't stress if you haven't answered them yet, because you will by the time we finish this session. Yeah, over to you, beautiful lady. Thank you for joining us. You need to unmute.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, girls. And it was fun, Belinda. Thank you very much for that. It was an amazing event. And part of it, and it always is it begins and ends. It's all about people. This is what we do. We do. We have come across something that is life-changing, and now we want to just share with as many people and show them the potential of taking their health to another level. They have a choice. And also, the magic of it all is by sharing with people that you really care about. The company rewards us. And so it's a two-end stream. I mean, Belle said perfectly about the strategy. And, but first of all, I won't jump because I have a tendency, I get overly excited and go from one thing to another, is that the question that we are going to ask you, and you've probably seen it in the chat, is that what is it from Isagenix that you want? What do you want out of this journey? And you've got to think about it. You can write it down, you can digest it, because sometimes, when the team will say, oh, will you get on a call, or can this person come and visit you? And, she's looking at Isagenix. And sometimes not asking enough questions, you are assuming that they're joining because of what you joined for, or that they're looking for something that you're looking for. So it's always, I'll get in front of these people, but at the end of the day, I find out about them. I love finding out about them, about their family and where they come from and whatever. And after that we've found a common interest, I'll say, but Belle, tell me why Isagenix? What is it that you are looking for? And it could be an assumption that a team member had told me, look, I think this, I think she needs to lose some weight and da, da, da. Well, this is not what this person's going to tell me. because we have connected and we found a common ground and we have a bit of trust between us, the conversation is totally different. It might go into the family situation. It might be the way she's struggling, it might be sick parents, whatever. But whatever it is, I get her to tell me or him to tell me, and then I'll say, fine, I can help you with that. And because you've already got that trust, that even when you offer your suggestion of what you think is going to be the best way to start, they trust you already. And you always say, do you know what? I always say to people, just put it in your body and find out how your body's going to react, because we are all different. And after all, you've got nothing to lose. You've got a 30-day money back guarantee. So you're telling them with honesty, and then you just say, hey, the company has so much belief in their product that after 30 days, I always say 28 days, call the company, you're not happy with the product. But in my 19 years, it's only ever happened twice. That's it. So you're giving them the confidence. You're giving them the confidence that they can rely on you. You're going to be honest with them. Have found a common ground. And then you're going to be honest with them. It's never about a transaction. It's about what is best for them. Because if people begin to trust you, you've got someone for life. When people stop you and they're trying to sell things to you, like you could be in a shopping center and these, they'll come up and there's this organic cream at the moment. And this guy, oh, you've got beautiful skin. I said, you're so cheeky. You're very, very good. So what would you like to tell me? But at the moment, and now when I see him, I go the long way because I don't want to hear it again, because you said, do you know what I mean? You want to, I'll never ever, like if somebody comes to the door, Dave never ever tells them to go away because he knows what it's like. He lets them practice and that's fine. But, do you know what I mean? So you don't want to be rude and whatever, but you don't do that. We're not going to harp on them. If they've made a decision, we're going to harp on them. No. And you'll always be graceful and you always treat people how you would want to be treated. And you give them the information the way you would want to receive the information because people actually care. It's really easy what we do. You have to get out of the headspace, get out of this little thing that tells you constant lies, tell them to absolutely bugger off. You know that your heart has the right intention and don't hold back. Don't hold back. That's it. What we do is ethically the most organic thing when you care about people and you just share because you want everyone to have a choice. Like what Rachel was saying about people buying stuff. We had a couple of people in the room yesterday that are buying this from there and this from there, but they buy it because they have no idea. They have no choice. They have no idea. Are they getting results? Not really. Are they feeling better? Definitely not. What we have is the Rolls Royce of all products. And I always say the products are never at scrutiny because all the science that is backed by it, all we have to do is take it in and share how we feel. That's it. So you've got to think is what is it that you want out of Isagenix? And I always say to people, it's one thing that, when you're a parent and stuff, you think about your family first and everything else, and that is fantastic because that comes along with it. But also think about yourself. What is it that you would want to experience? This company is giving you tick, tick, tick. You choose. So without thinking, oh, that can never happen, never ever say that. What would you want out of this company? What would you want? to do with the income that you will receive out of this company. I really, really, really would love you to dig deep. And I know I've had this conversation with a few of you before. And also think, if you would take this seriously, and as Belle said, the company is giving you so much. And if you were to say, I'm jumping in and I'm taking my biggest share, how will that affect your family? How is that going to impact your family? So these are the things that you've got to think about, is what is it that you really want? Why are you doing it? Why are you doing it? You started possibly for the product, possibly for health reasons, and now you've felt what this company has given us, and you see the opportunity. So where would you like to take it? Where would you like to take it? And how can it change your families? How can it change the DNA of your family? Because it certainly has changed ours. These are the things that I want you to think about. And make a note. Honestly, I'd love to receive some feedback from all of you with some pointers of what you want to do with this opportunity and how it can change your life and how it can change your children's lives, your partner's lives, what opportunities you can give your children when you've got a financial backing, how it can change the family by having incredible memories of a family holiday, how with your future grandchildren, because you're too young up here, to have how you can have those memories with your grandchildren. And I will tell you a great thing is because, and Heather, you'll probably have experienced this, because of what in the 19 years, how I have evolved as a human being. I've always loved children. I've always loved people. I've always been involved with people. But the tenacity and the strength and the balls that I have grown over the 19 years to not listen to people's opinions and to think with or without you, I am going to the top. And how those actions that I've taken along the way, how it's impacted me. So the person that I've become as a mother, as a grandmother, as a nonna, of course, and the language we have, like Mason, we were driving, and my grandson said, Nonna, why don't you retire? And I said, Mace, you know what? Because, Nonna, I love what I do. I love what I do. I said, it's the same reason why they were sleeping over, but he had a very, very early game of soccer. I said, the reason why you've got out of bed, Julian is still asleep, and we're going because you are passionate about soccer and you want to be the best soccer player. You want to play in an academy. My son has already taken him around the academies in the UK because they hadn't think. I said, because if you're not prepared to get up and do the best you can, then you're not really real about saying you want to become a professional soccer player. You're doing it because you want to give it your all. And the same for Nonna. I said, I'm doing it because I love what I do. To me, when I speak to someone and think that maybe just that much I could have impacted them or made them think that they are worthy or maybe think that they can do this, then that's my job. And he listens. Because you have to go through it first before you can pass it on. Would you agree? Because otherwise the language goes, oh, do you know what? You're better off going to uni. You're going to start, better off going to uni. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Be careful. You need to earn money. You know, this, it's always the negative coming in. Instead of saying you can achieve whatever you want, as long as you never give up. If it means enough to you, you keep on going. You never give up. And you will achieve what you want. Same as my granddaughter now. She's an artist in Melbourne. But as a little girl, she used to like cook, right? And she'd put green food coloring in rice and this and this. And I'd say, Layla, every chef follows a recipe. She'd go, not this chef, Nonna. And she'd put all these things. And I used to say to her, follow your heart. Your heart will never deceive you. Your mind will. And now she has. Do you understand? But you have to have that sense of freedom and the sense of wonderment and to the sense of belief to saying, I am worthy. I can do this. Show me what I need to do. And that's what we're here for you, to show you how to do it. We are going to hold your hand. We're going to guide you. We're going to run past you. We'll crawl beside you, whatever way you want to do, because that's the magic of what we do as a team. Understand that. And the other thing is what Belle said that I love, and I had this conversation with a couple of business owners this week who've had a similar experience as ours and was for another team member. And in any business, if you were to buy a business that is going to pay you $1 million a year, you're going to have to probably pay about $3.5 million for that business, roughly, to get a residual of $1 million. Now, if you wanted to borrow money from the bank, even to get a Jim's lawn mowing business or whatever, the first thing the bank is going to ask you, where is your business plan? If you're going to borrow money, the first thing they ask you is they need to see your business plan. They need to see how many lawns you're going to be cutting, how you're going, the cost of the machinery that you're going to invest in, etc., on how they're going to get their money back. This is business. And I loved what Belle said even about a shop. Like, say, for example, Country Road. How they always are having their sales, to get more people. It's not that even having that spending less or even like getting $200 when you spend $6. It's all strategies. They're not going to be in the negative. It's all strategies on how the human being goes in, buys because they think they're saving, because they're going to get $50 voucher, but it's just smart strategy because it gets people in. The same thing with our business. You need to know, you need to have a strategy. And the strategy is roughly this thing that I draw out, right, on cycles and the value of, which we can go into another time if you guys want to. But when people say, oh, look, I want to be earning 10 cycles a week. And then we sort of break it down on that. So the 10 cycles a week actually is $30,000 in the bank, $30,000 a year. But some people go, well, $500 a week would make a big difference to my family. Fantastic. That's easy. We can show you because we have a strategy on what you need, the activities you need to do in order to make that money. But it's not just you alone. It's just not Rachel on her own. It's Rachel and her team. Because as Rachel elevates, her team elevates. You're never left alone in this. I always say, you're only as good as your team. But we would set goals, annual goals, and everyone would say, oh, I'm going to go 3-star this year. I want to be 2-star. 2 stars, 20 cycles. I don't know if you guys talk about the cycle value and stuff like that. And then we say, okay, this is what we need to do. This week we're going to help Nicole. We have an event and we're going to help Nicole get to executive, Then Kylie's turn next month, And this is what we do. And as they elevate, you elevate. We all grow together. Does that make sense? Heather, is there any questions at this stage, or is there anything? Am I going off track, or does anyone want to ask anything?
Anybody can, this is a small enough group that if you have a question, you can unmute. I just want to jump in because Nata just asked about cycles. So, and I know that's something we can do another time, but I know you used to always talk about growing cycles by 1 cycle a week, Irene,
Yeah.
just breaking it down. So maybe just cover a little bit on cycles, and know, guys, that that's not the only way we earn. In addition to that, we have now our amazing team builder bonus. We have our PIBs and so many things that Irene and Dave didn't have when they very first started. So now we have all these extras. So when we talk about funnels of ways to earn, what you can explain to people in this business is that you've got different funnels even within Isogenics. So just maybe cover a little bit on that.
Okay, so it is true. When we started, we never had that. We wouldn't even keep the full, of our second pack. Even say if it was 150 points, we only kept 50 points. And then, that's why we move everything to 28 days. So you keep that. But that first one, we didn't even keep that. So, but anyway, no complaining. It's been a fantastic journey. But yes, as Heather said, today, and it's good. It's fantastic, the money you guys are earning, but I'm also sometimes concerned, and I have to be honest, that it's taking the mind off the end result, which is, for me, has always been the residual and leverage of what this company offers you. Network marketing, especially our compensation plan, is very, very generous in the residual and the leveraging. So they gave you all this upfront money, so you don't have to have a part-time job if you left your job, so you're making really, really good money whilst you're building the depth in your team. Never, ever, ever estimate it, but always building the depth. So when Heather was saying every week, because I really felt uncomfortable, like if I had a huge week and then next week I dunked down. I used to feel like, I wanted to vomit. I couldn't watch it. Why is this happening? But what I did that week, come around again, I would focus everything on that week so that all my weeks I had the same income. It's just the way my head, I didn't like seeing it. I wasn't going to accept it. Oh, yeah, but last week I had a good week. No, I want all my weeks to be nice and even. So what we would do is that, and we had no guidance. Understand, when we started, we had 3 different general managers for the first 18 months. 3. And it was just like, where are we going? What are we doing? We've got to move fast here. So, but I understood that I was growing this business. And as long as every week we were one cycle ahead, I felt happy, because I didn't like this ding like this. So on a Monday morning, I'd be sitting here. I never even, until the time clicked off, I never even had a shower, nothing. In my pajamas, my dressing gown if it was cold, and I'd be calling all of my consultants. How are you going? Where are you going to end? What's the end result? Because I knew what they were on. How are you ending? do you know you only need 60 points for your next cycle? Oh, okay, I'll get on to that person. I know they want a bottle of this or want a bottle of that. I kept on pushing, and they still do it, so that getting the maximum out of their cycles for the week. Right? So that was it. That was the strategy. Just calling all the consultants, all the manager, well, whatever. Hey, do you know what? Do you know this customer only needs, this consultant is just, a couple of points of cycling again. That was what happened every Monday until the cutoff, bringing the cycles to the maximum. And as long as we grew one extra cycle that week, then I used to slam this off, whoo, 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 and we'd go and have a glass of champagne and oysters. But if we didn't, I'd go upstairs, have a shower, and no champagne and oysters. So that's another nice thing, is that always reward yourself for along the way. I used to say, gosh, when I reach that, I'm going to get that. When I reach, I'd go into places, I'd go into Mazzucchelli's and I'd try on a watch and think, oh, when I'm 5-star, I'll come and get that. Or when I'm this, I'll come and that. That's how I did with this ring. I changed my mind from the 5-star watch. I saw this ring and I said to Dad, it's more than what I wanted to spend. He said, go do it. You work hard. Just go do it. And I didn't even leave it size. I just got up on, pop, perfect. I never forget about that. Understand, reward yourself for effort. Work hard. Work hard in the beginning because it's worth it. It's like anything in life. You have to give it life. And I think I was even sharing with some people, even giving birth, you've got this image of this beautiful baby. You've got a big pattern. You know what? Before the baby's born, you have got to really do some pushing, girl. You are sweating and to get this baby out. But then isn't it oh so worth it? Eh? It is a lifetime of joy. A lifetime. So understand, anything worth having is worth fighting for. If it comes easy, why not next year then? Why not the next 10 years? No, the time is now. The time is now. But you get to be the conductor of your own orchestra. All I'm saying is don't take it for granted. We are here to support you, and our corporate, what they're about, I can see, well, how Belle was about to spill a few beans before, and then she muted herself, because what they're doing now, oh golly gosh, if only 19 years ago, I'll rejoin. Do you understand? Do you understand? You don't have to take out a huge loan with the bank to have quality of life, to get the income that you so deserve. You deserve it all. Remember that. I always say you weren't given birth to be on this earth to play small. You're all meant for greater things.
Thank you, Irene. Those words you said before, as the time is now. And, I really want to say to each and every one of you, whatever you are thinking right now, put some words in the chat. I can see they're already flying in the chat, which is awesome. As to, what you are going to do. And, do we need to tell you everything? No, we don't need to tell you everything right now. Do we need to tell you what Belle put in the chat just before? It is about developing people. The way that you build this business is helping others succeed. And this promotion that they're going to launch on Thursday is going to help you help the new people, the new blood, the new people who are coming through, who all joined in the last 3 months, to really, excel themselves, to achieve health results and business results. And in turn, you guys are going to flourish. And so, yeah, I would just say spend the time between now and Thursday, and I'll let Belle and Rach add anything more in, but put the time between now and Thursday to absolutely get your ducks in a row. Have your lists ready. Know who you want to work with. Who are those people you're going to pick up the phone to on a Monday and see where they're at? Who have you got who hasn't joined your business yet, who's just ready to drop in right now, who wants to have these products in their body and also get their products paid for and beyond. So get your list ready, be prepared, and then know that we're here to support you. And what we're going to do with the Leaders Fueling the Fire group is we're going to give you a call every month, an educational call every month, like this. And we're also going to support you with one-on-one coaching and coaching in the groups that are already set up, that each of you knows who you talk to and what group you're in. So that's what we're going to do. We're here to support you. I'm super excited. Anything else you want to add, Belle or Rach? And we'll head off.
I would just say, use the questions that Irene gave, get a business plan, have accountability. You've got Heather, myself, Irene. Use us as accountability if you're needing that. And what events do you have planned for the month? We're already planning some events for next month. Like, what you need to be ahead of the game. So lots of things happening. So just take the time, but be strategic. We're not working all the time like you think we are. We are being strategic, and we've got lists. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? Do this, then we go spend time with the family. Then we come back. What are we going to do? Then we go cook dinner, So use the time so that you're not working all the time, but you can get results.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. And I know that there's nothing more that will thank Irene. And I know you've been putting great things in the chat, but the best way you can thank her is by sitting down, writing out some of those things. What do you want from Isagenix? What do you want on a weekly earnings? And what difference is that going to make to your family? And write it out. Either take a photo of it or send it through to us, and we'll pass it on to Irene, because you can imagine she's going to be busting. She's going to be so excited by reading all of these that come from this call. How did she feel seeing what Selena put in the chat? And Selena, like, boom, straight in there. She knows what she wants. So how cool is that? Rach, last words.
I just think thank you so much, Irene, for your time today. It's just so valuable to hear from somebody that's done it. Again, that's the belief, right? And Irene is a beautiful person, and she's unique and special and amazing, but we can all be like her. All she did, or not all, but she put in the effort and the work and the belief, and that got her to where she is now, earning millions of dollars. So, you know what? We can all do it. It's just a matter of following the steps, following the process, and keeping going.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys. Let's go. We'll see you all Thursday night. Whoop, whoop, whoop. See ya. Bye.
Thanks. See ya. Bye.
Bye. See you guys. Love you all.